8'5", I think a really neat pig. Just when you look at him visually, to be that elevated and that moderate in terms of his length of body, his length of hip and bend to his rear leg, I think is phenomenal. And looks like a good, clean, flat bone pig that's just going to continue to get stouter. And then I think when you dive into his pedigree, we've talked a lot about pace cars, and man, the pace car pigs have been good. These eights, there's just two of them in the sale. This one and a really special gilt. This is a pace car back on pace car's mom. So from a pedigree standpoint, I think incredible, and not just visually, but I think this is another one that deserves some board consideration. He lived in the slatted barn for a little bit, and as he's come back up here, just continues to get stouter every day. That kind of hip and that kind of rear leg, and then to be bred that way, I think this one's just going to continue to stouten up. And Jim, you can kind of speak to that pedigree a little bit. You guys fed that gilt this summer. That sow is visually impressive, and not from the standpoint of she's a big, tall, pretty one. She's got a huge rib cage and tree trunks for rear legs, and again, I can't say enough about her generating potential, and then to put her on both sides of the pedigree here, I think this is a neat pig.
So the mother of the eights last spring is the mother of the eights this time then?
Yes.
Okay, that's the same side. Yeah, we had Grand Gilded Ohio with in the market side of it. First time they ever had that with a FAFO gilt out of this one's mother. And, yeah, that was a very fun one to feed. And that hog was always dense and stout and has a very similar kind of skull to what this board does. I mean, width between his eyes and ears, and a little looser ear, which truthfully we were talking earlier about breeding hog mentality, and kind of those hogs stay a little looser spine and or a little looser structured and able to motor a little better with more stoutness of feature and indicators, and that's just one of those things. And yeah, I would agree on the part that this one could be a boar also, but he's still proportioned for a Barra, but with the outlying pieces and then that genetic potential with this one being tied up as tight in his pedigree as he is, really has some neat things. But that's length out in front of his blades really good, stoutness features great, elevation, length of cannon, reach, and angles everywhere really good.